Well, you'll notice in tonight's program that our next inductee is listed as a contributor. Well, that's because John Simmons has been a player, owner, administrator, and someone who has shown he cares deeply about sports in our region as a prolific financial supporter of sports in the area for many years. Mr. Simmons and wife Jane have been owners of two minor league baseball teams, the former Southern Illinois Miners based in Marion and the Savannah, Georgia Sand Gnats, a Class A affiliate of the Washington Nationals. Yeah, Sand Gnats. We all know about those, right? They have since given up those ownerships, but enhanced those franchises greatly while in their ownership position. More locally, Mr. Simmons, a former athlete at Roxana High School, has been a valuable booster to the sports climate at his alma mater, and mine as well, Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. With the resounding success of his law firm, John has had the wherewithal to support the upgrades and expansion of Roy E. Lee Field at the Simmons Baseball Complex on the SIU-E campus. That's John throwing out a first pitch, and more on Roy Lee coming up in a little bit. John's been involved in and supported many civic projects in the metro area and also serves on the SIU Board of Trustees and has been chairman of that body. And perhaps we can get Mr. Simmons to tell the story of how he was denied admission to SIU-E when he first applied, believe it or not. True story. At least I thought I saw that on YouTube somewhere. Please read the full background piece on Mr. Simmons in tonight's program. In short, there is no better contributor to sports in this area than John Simmons. Let's welcome him with our applause to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. Steve Porter's back for the chat.
Well, hello again. Now, one thing I want to ask, are we having a good time? Is everybody having a good time now? Okay. Just want to make sure, because it doesn't get any better than our next Hall of Famer. Most of you know John Simmons is one of the finest lawyers in the country, and his law firm is one of the finest in the nation. But we're not here to talk about lawyering tonight. We're here to talk about sports. And John has been an ardent supporter of sports, a contributor, and he has a deep love of sports and a passionate view of things in the athletic world. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Steve.
John, I'm sure you have some friends and family out there you may want to acknowledge at this point.
Yes, I have 3 of my 4 boys here.
Please
Jesse,
stand up.
Nick, and Taylor.
Great to see you.
And a bunch of my SIU family. Thank you. President Mahoney, Chancellor Minor, thank you for being here. And a table full of friends, Al Womack, Alton Boys and Girls Club, and Roger Lewis, and we'll hear from you, Dwayne, later.
Thank you for all coming. Now, John went to Roxana High, and there he met his wife, Jane. And John participated in some sports at Roxana High School. You may not know that, but John's going to tell you a story about when he played for the Shells.
Yes, I've got a few of those. So I fancied myself a wrestler in school, but really the thing I can tell you most about my wrestling career is how many lights exist in all of the high school gyms in the Mississippi Valley Conference. But that didn't end my career. I dislocated a kneecap, and the doctor said no more wrestling. But I could play basketball. I had never played basketball.
I think there's a good story coming about basketball you might want to tell.
There is, and it goes to coaching and how important coaches are. So my sophomore year of high school, I went out for basketball for the first time ever. And, of course, I didn't make the JV team. I barely made the sophomore team, and the only reason I made that team was because they wouldn't cut anyone. So I wasn't going to play at all, so I just practiced really, really hard, and I would frustrate my teammates. They would say, "Calm down, that's just this is practice." I'm like, "This is my game. I don't get to play." So one time, our coach had a wedding or a funeral. He missed the game at Marquette, and we had a coach that filled in, and we were losing real bad to Marquette, and the coach says, hey, he looks down the bench, and I sat at the far end of the bench because I know I'm the least relevant player on the team, so I'm just trying to remove myself from any distractions from the team. And he said, who hasn't played much this year? And so everybody on the team just points like this, and except to me at the end, I raised my hand, and he looks down and he says, Simmons, you haven't played much? I said, no, I haven't played at all, Coach. He said, how much have you played? I said, I haven't played at all. He goes, you haven't played any? I said, no, I don't play. And he's like, well, get in the game. Well, I ran onto the court because I'm going to get to play. And I didn't realize you had to check in with the scorer's table. So I'm just like, Smith, you're out. I'm in, you know. So we got in trouble, a penalty or something for that. And then later on, he realizes what's going on because I'm trying really, really hard. And it's obvious to like everybody that I'm giving it 100%. I think I had like 3 fouls in 20 seconds or something like that. And so anyway, he says, okay, he called the timeout. We all ran over there and looking at the coach, and he says, okay, no one shoots the ball but Simmons. So I wound up with like 20 points that game, and I didn't even want to shoot. I was passing it. Everybody kept passing the ball to me, and like, you got to shoot it. We can't shoot. So I started chucking them up from everywhere, and some of them went in.
That's a great story, John. What happened in basketball after that?
That was pretty much the
That was
highlight
it,
of my
okay.
career, yeah. The coach came back, and I set the bench.
But there was some track and cross country, I believe, and football still for you.
Yeah,
at
I played for
Roxanne.
Charlie Rach. He was a tremendous coach, and got to play with him, and had a great story there. We had a guy, he wound up playing on the practice squads for Dallas, Kansas City, and one other professional team. I don't remember what, but he played receiver, and this was at a time when no one really passed the ball much, and he got shook up on a game, and so they said, Simmons, you're in. I was his backup. So I go into the game, and I'm backing up this really good player, and we get in the huddle, and the quarterback calls the play, and it's a passing route. So there's like 3 different outlets the quarterback can pass to, and I thought, wow, that was a pass. I'm running to my position after we broke from the huddle, and I'm thinking, he called that pass play, but it's not going to go to me. I mean, he's got other options, I'm sure. So I ran my route, and he's breaking and rolling out and running right at me, and he throws the ball to me. I couldn't believe it. You know, I caught the ball. So now whenever we go to class reunions, I talk about, let's don't talk about all the touchdowns and the number of yards, but who's got the highest receiving percentage?
There you go. Yeah. John, after Roxana, you went in the military and then to SIU-E, and I think you maybe developed a great love for baseball at that point. You told me how much it meant to you.
Yep, I played baseball in high school in 9th grade, but then started track, and then wound up going to the Savannah Sandnets. At the time, they were the Savannah Cardinals, Class A affiliate in Savannah, which is where I was stationed in the military, and you could go to the games for $1. So my wife and I would go to these baseball games for $1. It was great. It was great baseball, and Todd Zeal, I saw him hit 4 home runs in one game as a Savannah Sandnet, and I just remember the announcer saying, Todd Zeal, ladies and gentlemen, remember that name, you'll hear it later, or something like that, and I did.
So if you follow what John did, if you can go to a game for $1, eventually you may own that team, because that's what he did. He owned the Savannah team.
It did happen. It was kind of surreal, but yes, it happened.
Okay. And at SIU, of course, the baseball complex is named for you at Roy Ely Field. What does that mean to you?
Oh, that's kind of special. I was friends with the athletic director. He went to Roxana as well. His name was Nick Adams. He's coaching the Olympic BMX team at this point in Colorado Springs, but he was talking about the improvements they wanted to make to the field and everything, and he's the one that kind of got me to do that, so.
Okay, and then owning two teams, the Southern Illinois Miners of Marion and the Savannah Sand Gnats, what was that like?
That was great. The difference of the two were night and day. When the affiliated team that we owned in Savannah, you had zero control over really anything. You might get a weigh in on whether or not it's a rain out or not, but maybe even not. And if the pitcher's doing terrible and you need to pull him, or, they don't want your input. You sell hot dogs and beer. But in the Frontier League and the Independent League baseball, you kind of can have some say. It's night and day. Frontier League was much better as an owner.
So what's next for John Simmons? I'm sure some sports might be involved in it.
Oh, well, we'll still sponsor the Harry Gallatin basketball tournament and things like this, and I like to be involved and just hear the great stories we've heard tonight and some that are coming, I'm sure, so.
Well, whatever John Simmons continues to do in sports, we'll be very successful at it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame a new inductee, John Simmons.
Thank you, Steve.